I don't know where it feels like I am. I'm kind of just like in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of green. There's also oddly a lot of cop cars.
We're in like a potential murder warehouse. I literally can't turn the windshield wipers up any faster. The lake is falling on us. Everyone always asks us what it's like traveling. Oh, I thought you were gonna do it after. What it's like Everyone always asks us, what's it like traveling for Bring Me? We're gonna give you a behind the scenes look of one of our road trips. We found a ton of really cool places in both Alabama and Georgia, so we thought it would be perfect for a mini road trip.
Here we go! Woo! Oh, hi. We made it to Atlanta, and it's wet and humid.
Yo, it smells so good. It smells like the jungle.
We're supposed to leave in 20 minutes, and Liz is still sleeping. Liz. Look who's already up and working. So we're looking at the weather for today. 88 is okay, and then there's some thunderstorms where we're going in Scottsboro. And the humidity is 100%?
What does 100% humidity even mean? You're just like in a pool at that point.
Feeling pretty good. We're driving out of Georgia and into Alabama for our first shoot.
I've never been to Alabama. Very, very excited. Mainly because then I can say, I'm in Bama.
So excited.
Welcome to Alabama! Woo!
That sign was kind of underwhelming, to be honest. It was like so small. It was like this big.
I know, I just want a big sign. It's Bama! Brrr. Ooh, there's corn. All right, stepping into this humidity. Ooh.
I feel like I'm in high altitude. It's just like really heavy and hard to breathe.
So we were really excited to film at this unclaimed baggage store in Alabama.
We spent a few hours here. It was really amazing to see some customers get to open up a suitcase.
What surprised me was how many really expensive items that they had that people had just forgotten.
There were a lot of like cool gadgets, and there were like iPads and cameras and books and shoes.
You guys, this place has some of the weirdest stuff, like this. Like that was in someone's suitcase. And then they didn't claim it.
You tried on a bracelet that was worth $21,000. The brand ambassador, Brenda, told us one of the craziest things that they had found was a live rattlesnake, and I cannot even imagine opening a bag and finding a snake.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Nope, like a box of chocolates.
When we walked in here, it was sunny, and maybe 5 seconds ago, the thunder from hell just struck, and the sky now looks like this. I also love how all their signs say y'all.
So our last full day was the busiest day. We started our day off at Da Vinci Donuts.
This is my breakfast.
How many do you think we had?
I probably had 6.
I was gonna say 10, but
I still feel sick.
stick with 6.
It was fun because you could go in and like just design it exactly how you wanted it, so you could get a little crazy. Yeah.
Let's just say some flavors didn't go together. Good old Henry.
Good old Henry, what a hoot. We walked in not exactly knowing what to expect, and he was like, welcome, like big open arms, and he made us a giant sandwich, and it was definitely probably our most hectic shoot.
Filming that thing was so bizarre. I was like on my tiptoes, like over all of them, like following them out. You kept being like, sorry, excuse me, move. It was amazing.
Before we came and shot this video, there was a huge storm in Ackworth, and so the workers of the electrical supply company had to stay basically awake for 48 hours, just working to keep the city afloat and keep the electricity on.
And so Henry wanted to give back and invited
people from the Ackworth Power Company to eat this 9-foot po' boy.
And the workers were all super happy and excited about it, and it was just probably the most heartwarming video I shot.
If you're into adventurous eating, they had this southern ramen dish at this place called Southbound.
The hardest part about filming this one was when they had this tub of just like braised pork, and it had been like cooking in there for like a day or something, just like marinating in all these spices, and she had on gloves and she just like took it out and just like pulled it apart for my camera, and I was like, ugh.
I'm going for it. Wow, it's really different. Wait, it's like, it doesn't taste like normal ramen. It's like smoky, pulled pork, barbecue-y type ramen. Like, it's very southern.
Oh, this was fun. This was a fun shoot.
This was fun. I don't know anything about comic books, to be honest. I think this is a really cool concept if you like comic books, because there are obviously comic books for you to read. There's beer, there's food, and then there's also games.
Yeah.
They had some really expensive comic books that were like a couple $100, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. People love the comics. It's a big thing. I don't know. So we filmed at Hop City next, and it was this really cool place that had like an indoor market basically. So you could like go to all these different stands and try a bunch of different food.
Tons of beer. I think they had the most beer in Georgia, or they sold the most beer in Georgia. But they had some really crazy ones. I took home a Earl Grey hard cider. They had 60 beers on tap, and they would just constantly rotate, and it was cool because there was a screen, so whenever they ran out of a beer, they would just like be replaced or go off the list.
I need a break. I've eaten so much today. I woke up because I heard a lot of thunder in the sky. Looked out my window, and this is what it looks like. So this is our last day. We're about to go to the Atlanta airport. It's been a good week.
It's been a great week.
I know. Alabama and Georgia have been really nice and green.
They're very, very welcoming people,
Yes.
I will say. Never, felt more like home in a strange place.
The whole week we've just been eating like food after food. What was your favorite shoot, Liz?
Man, that's a tough call, but I think my favorite shoot was probably Henry's po' boy. It was definitely the most chaotic, but he was he was such a character, and he was so welcoming, and he had 9 lives. What about you?
I think that was my favorite too. It was definitely the most chaotic because there were so many people involved, but they were awesome. And like you said, Henry's a hoot.
Henry's a hoot.
Henry's a hoot.
Overall, I'd say it was a pretty great trip.
It was a great trip. Until next time.
Until next time, bring me.
Our flight got delayed again.
Yep.